So with the virtual educations, what is next? Okay, what is next about virtual educations? All right. So now I more prefer to use the words virtual educations. I know some of you, what is virtual education? Isn't it the same online learning? Yeah, of course, it's the same. It's about online learning. It's about using computer for learning. What your children are going through at home right now, if they are going through some online learning classes. So the virtual education sounds more glamour to me. That's why I changed to use virtual education. All right. So what's virtual education? As you can see, layman term, online educations. Now, so it's a transition from a traditional classroom that parents like you and me, for those who are parents who are listening, okay, that we get to use to go to classroom with the students, and then the teachers is teaching in front with those days a green board or a blackboard. All right. So now in front of a computer is a totally whiteboard. So from green or blackboard, our time changed to a bit of whiteboard, the kids, but this is virtual whiteboard, okay, in front of the computer. It's so different. So that's a transition of a traditional classroom. And what are the challenges? Yes, plenty of challenges. If you can see, just my personal opinion that I would like to share with you today. What are the challenges what you're facing, all these kind of things. Now, and are we prepared for it? Obviously, okay, we were talking about this before COVID-19, before the lockdown. A lot of colleges were talking about that. We should go virtual. I think the students can study from home. Some online classes are available now. Why the heck that we got to go to the classroom if we can just watch at home like Khan Academy? I think you know Khan Academy. Yeah, a lot of students are access into Khan Academy. Why should we go to classroom? So yes, some are prepared, but a lot of them are not prepared. I can tell you a lot of them are not prepared, and I'll share with you why are we not prepared later. Now, then, do we have a choice? Good questions. Do we have a choice? Okay. Now, okay, we have no choice. Sorry. With this pandemic, we don't have any choice. As you can see, the moment that the country start to lock down, all the colleges, all the schools have changed online. And China have been doing this since the Lunar New Year. Okay? All right. So we don't have a choice. All right. Now, so this is a very interesting slide. When I was doing some research yesterday, this is not done by me, obviously, it's done by someone. So when I was looking for about traditional teaching, I was asking Mr. Google to tell me more information about traditional teaching towards the online learning. Then Mr. Google, someone that have this slide that I took it down from the internet. It's an interesting slide that I want to share with you here. Traditional teaching, a flip focus education. What do you mean by flip focus? So I think before we actually can move into virtual education, online learning, I think we have to ask ourselves whether the teachers and the students are prepared for the flip focus education system or not. So let's look into this. For example, the traditional teaching in class, the teachers review homework and then present the new content. So the students will go into the class with blank mindset. They come in, the teachers will tell them, okay, let's start our class today. Today, I'm going to teach you Malaysian history or geography of a particular country. So the students will be first time in the classroom, listen to a new knowledge. Okay, that is a traditional classroom. The flip focus is the student that's supposed to learn the new content through the video and technology. They're supposed to learn at home, okay, before they come into the class. So when we talk about the online or e-learning, this is the first thing that before you go for the online classes, you have to do some research. What is the teacher going to share about? What the teacher is going to teach you today? You have to learn about all this because the teachers is not coming to the classroom and tell you this is a new knowledge. And we do not require this kind of teacher. Sorry to say that, okay? Now, then out of classes, okay, means what? Students to do homework and practice the new learning. So after class is over, teachers say, okay, these are the homework, please go home and do. But in a class, students discuss, explore applications. So in the classroom itself, students are learning the new application. So you can see that when during the discussions, when the teachers ask questions, that is actually the assessment. The teachers will know that, these students have done this, students learn something. We don't need to wait until the so-called the final or the paper examinations to know, or depends on the homework to know that the students have this knowledge or not. So in terms of the instructions, you can notice that it's quite interesting. The instructions actually, in the traditional teaching style, the teacher-centered means the teachers are the one who lead the classroom. Okay, the student just listen. Apa yang saya cakap, sila dengar. That's what, sorry my teachers always tell me. But the flip focus, the students are supposed to be centered. So the students who come into the class, they will tell, teachers, I don't understand. Teacher can explain that. Teacher, I don't agree with you because I found from internet last night. I watched a video from Khan Academy. The information was different from what you share with us. Yeah, are the teachers ready for this kind of, sorry to say that, feedbacks? I use the word feedback, okay? So before we actually go into online learning, okay, are the students' mentality and the teachers well prepared, okay, to take, sorry to say that, feedback. I didn't say criticism, I just said feedback, okay, from the students in front of them virtually, okay? All right. So flip focus, something that I learned yesterday. I hope that it benefits all of you as well. What is flip focus? Now, all right, so from this traditional, I mentioned just now, to flip focus, let's move into virtual education now. So the virtual educations, okay, I think the challenges, okay, the virtual education I'll discuss later, but I would like all of you to understand that in a virtual education environment, the social factors, okay, that whereby we're going to miss that. Why? Because as you can see from the graphic there, the traditional classroom that the students are in the class, I can sit with my friends, I can do some drawing with my friends. After class, I can go and hang out for tea, a cup of tea with my friends or coffee with my friends. But they don't have all these social factors anymore in the virtual classroom. Okay? Now, and psychologically, are the students prepared or not? Okay, are the students prepared to be learning at home? Okay, psychologically, okay, it's paradigm shift for them. Okay, and then most importantly, it's about the assessment, as I mentioned. Okay, if a traditional school, okay, is still relying on 100% exam-based system, I think virtual classroom doesn't fit into this system. So personally, I think that, okay, when we talk about the traditional to the virtual classroom, I just want to highlight this could be the three things that, okay, all students and the parents have to be get ready for this virtual education classroom, okay, the virtual classroom that I'm talking about. So let's move on into the challenges. Okay, so you can see, I just like to highlight these four key area or the key challenges. Okay, when virtual educations or online learning actually brought into our lifestyle. Now, okay, so first, student, as I said, student center. So students is the key things of it is education. Okay, as I mentioned, there's some, it could be the teachers who are supposed to lead, but in virtual education system, the students are supposed to lead this. So the students must be well prepared, okay, to take charge of this kind of system. Okay, so students out there, if you listen to this, please remember, okay, you are the boss in the virtual educations, not the teachers. Sorry, teachers, you have a role to play. I'll tell you later. Technology. Okay, now you may find that some of the students, or sometimes that they are going learning at home, that they can complain about the internet is slow. There is a breakout. Teachers, I can't hear you. So sometimes sad to say that our technology. Then the kids may not have the computer at home. Okay, sometimes not every family can afford the kids to have their own computers. So then they have to share with their parents. The parents are still working at home. So how are you going to share this kind of so-called technology sometimes? Okay, all right, then the educators, the teachers, and the professors out there. Okay, your role in this virtual education is important. Your role have not changed. I will explain to you why your role have not changed. Just that, sorry, let the student lead in this virtual education system. And the parents, okay, so yeah, in the traditional education system, the parents always thinks that I send my kids to the school, the teachers are supposed to teach the student. That's why I send my kids to the school. Am I right? Correct or not? Okay. All right. So in virtual education system environment, parents play an important role as well. Okay. So parents out there, I believe if your children or if attending virtual education classroom at home, I will share with you later how and what role you should be playing to ensure the success of the virtual educations that we have no choice to move into. Okay, now, so adaptations by students. You look at this, okay? Yeah, I can tell you many students are actually doing virtual education or even online learning at home, like what she is doing. Okay, so focus, attention, just like what you're attending the traditional classroom. You have to be attentive to what the teacher is talking in front of you or in the computer. All right, so it's very important for you to stay focused. Okay, even though it's virtual, all right, that you can switch off your webcam. The teachers will not see you, but you still have to stay focused. And the environment. Okay, you could be lying down on your bed and just switch on your phone and watch your teachers talking on the phone. No, to be frank with you, please don't do that. Okay, find a quiet, a proper place. Okay, if you don't have a study table, go to your living area, get a place, sit down, have a good environment, like a student. Okay, you are a student. Okay, in the classroom, you are not supposed to be on the bed. Okay, to attend classes. Students, hear that. All right, now independent. So this is something that I find it very challenging for students who are actually not independent enough, that whereby that they are still relying their teachers, sorry to say that, to spoon feed them, to tell them what to study and what to do and what homework to do. So with the virtual education or online learning, all the students are supposed to be very independent from now on. Okay, as I said, because you are supposed to be take charge of this system. Students, you have to be independent. You cannot be just relying and very much depending on your teachers anymore. Okay, now, and lastly, the timetable. Okay, now, because of my role, during the MCO, I still talking to some of the students that they are, especially the Form 5 students, the SPM students, that they are still in the classes. I'm actually quite sad to know that, the students are giving a timetable, but sometimes due to certain reason, I'm not sure, that the students are not following a proper timetable, which they're supposed to check in at 7:30, like our normal classroom, or probably some teacher change to, okay, we change to 8 o'clock now, 8:30 now, okay? So from that time, okay, until towards the end, let's say your class finished at 1:30, do you have a timetable to follow? You have, just as if that you are still in the school. Sad to know that, many schools don't follow that. Not about the student, sometimes it's about teachers. So teachers and students out there, I'm not here to make any criticism. I'm just here to share my understanding, my informations that I've gotten from some of the students about that there's no proper timetable available for them, or even some, they don't follow the timetable. Okay, so that is very important, students. Okay, now, and the role of teachers in a virtual education. Okay, now teachers, please, your role is still important, just that the centers have changed, that's all. So technology is just a tool, by the way, for your information. The virtual educations, we are using the technology in terms of getting the students working together and to motivate them. Okay, it's very important. That's the teacher's role. As when I'm young, I can tell you, when I was a student, okay, I will always remember those teachers who keep on trying and tell me, CK, work harder. CK, you can do it. My teachers keep on motivating me to walk extra steps so that I can learn things, so that I know more things. So that's the role of the teachers that have not been changed, teachers. Okay? All right. The teacher is still the most important role in these virtual educations. Just that the focus is on the students. We want the student to be more independent. We want the student to learn what they want. Okay? And this text, this exact text, can go and Google out. It's not quoted by C.K. Chiau. Okay? It's quoted by Bill Gates, the person who have created all these things for us today. Bill Gates actually says that, all right? That technology is just a tool, understand? And getting the students to work together to motivate them. Teacher, please play your role. It's very important for you to do that, especially during this pandemic time. Okay? Please do so, teachers. Now, so a role of the parents in the virtual educations. As you can see, the father there, I wish me to teach my daughter that what to guide her, or to do well as a photograph. So what's the role of the parents now? I believe that before MCO, that these terms have actually come across. It's very, very common in America. In Malaysia, slowly I've been hearing this term, that people are using this method, and that's called homeschooling. So the parents, if you want to know what is homeschooling, you have a great opportunity now to practice that and to do that with your kids at home. Okay, homeschooling. So it's a great opportunity for you to homeschool your children at home. All right. Now, next, relearn. Whatever that I learned, okay, 20, 30 years ago is different. Okay, with the environment change, with the new information and technologies, there are so much things that actually that we have not learned before. So while you are actually sitting together with your children at home, okay, actually you are entitling for free education that the teachers is teaching your children. Am I right? Correct or not? So, okay, now if you pay for one person for the tuition fees for your children to learn whatever subjects, accounting, law, or also as subjects in the university, that now you actually learned it at home together with your children. Okay, paying one fees, if parents, father and mother learned, actually you pay one, three benefited from whatever the lecturers or the professor is teaching, okay, virtually, okay, relearn. And I share with you personally, okay, my daughter have a very good teachers. Whenever the teachers teach online, I always sit next to her because I found that I learned so much from these particular teachers that teaching my daughter as well. So relearn, parents, okay, in this environment, okay, take the opportunity to relearn. And relationship. What do you mean by relationship? The relationship not only with your daughter, just like what I show in the PowerPoint presentations here, the relationship with the teachers, okay? At least you have an opportunity now to go into your daughter's class and see your daughter's teachers or the professor teaching your children in the class. The kind of relationship that you have, that in the future, oh, you are the one who teach my daughter. At least you're familiar, you know that this is the person with your teachers. And at the same time, not only that you will know your daughter's so-called lecturers or whatsoever, at the same time, you also will get to know your daughter's classmate. Isn't it that the teenagers nowadays, sometimes they don't want to let the parents to know, hey, who's your classmate? When you go into the virtual classroom, I can tell you, you can see all their classmate names, all their classmate photos down there, isn't it? The kind of environment that actually give parents an opportunity to build not only relationship with your daughter, like the pictures here, also with the teachers, with your daughters or your son's classmate virtually, okay? Now, so with that, let me move on, okay, about the education's purpose. Why I'm going to talk about this? Because, all right, the virtual education's environment is so important that affecting our children's future career. So as you can see from this slide here, okay, the future career, okay, is not about education alone. The future career, it comes with a lot of other things that, for example, the goal, the visions, the value, the interest. But the virtual educations, which I can share with you in a short while, that actually give us another two important factors to build our career. Now, the vision and the goal is very personal, but I can tell you through the virtual educations that how we're going to acquire more that to ensure our future career is the skill sets and the value. So that's what I'm going to share with you in a short while, that how these virtual educations that have actually an impact towards our future career. Okay, isn't it? Aren't we send our kids to school, hope that they have a future career? Correct. All right, learning the knowledge and the skills that in the future they have a career, all right, that they can be independent. So that's the whole objective, why I bring in career into the virtual educations. All right, so with that, I always love to talk about Industry Revolution 4.0. Okay, so forget about 1.2, 1.0, 2.0, 3.0 is done. It's over. Today, we are living in Industry 4.0. And we are talking about Industry 4.0, as you can see from the slide there, okay, that we are talking about intelligent system, artificial intelligence, we are talking about big data, in cloud computing, we talk about cybersecurity. Isn't it all related to computer, which I'll talk about that in my next slide. While we are talking about Industry 4.0, okay, just to share with you, especially with this pandemic, all right, now, I'm doing a bit of research now. Hopefully, in the future, I'll be able to talk about this, but I'm not able now, but just want to share with you. With this pandemic, I think the world is actually moving to Society 5.0. And what is Society 5.0? Okay, not much of information is available. Okay, but that is the future. Anyone interested, please come, and then we can do a bit of research how this pandemic affecting the Society 5.0 to the future of the world. Okay, now I don't have much information. I'm not sure. Let's focus and talk about today Industry 4.0. So the Industry 4.0 is about all these things. It's about automations, the connections, the cloud computing, Internet of Things, big data. It's about all these things. So all this knowledge, all these skills, isn't it about virtual education, about online learning, students and parents? Isn't it? That's about 4.0. Correct. Now, so, and the future of work, as you can see from here, all right, is going to be a lot of automations. Okay, 70% will take up a lot of our human jobs, and also slowly some of the entry-level jobs for the young people will be actually slowly disappearing. Correct? So do prepare for the future, okay, of your children's career. And what are the skill sets? So which skills that to be needed in the future? As you can see that the basic digital skills that the students actually doing online now, they can pick it up easily. They can go online and learn so much of things. That's why we have a great speaker whereby Mr. Howard Chang is going to share with us about all these digital skills in the sessions later about 10:30. Okay, when he get back, he will share with you what are the digital skills. But other than digital skill, the cognitive skill, the social skill, the emotional skills that actually is very important that for our future career to all the students. So how are we going to pick it up on there? That creativity, entrepreneurships, innovations, all this, okay, actually through the virtual education, slowly we are actually picking up all these skills ourselves to be more independent, to be more creative, okay, to do our own research before we come into the classes. So through the virtual education, we're actually going into all these skills ourselves, which you may not realize. And your children are picking up all these things. All right? Okay, now, so, sorry, with that, all right, now, I'd like to share a little bit about what is Education 4.0. Okay? Now, we talk about Industrial Revolution 4.0. This is the first time probably to some of you that I'd like to share with you what is the Education 4.0. Now, my time, okay, could be about 1.0, 2.0, whereby, especially, let me share with you now. Let's look at what is the definition of 2.0. More advanced worker will needed now ability to read and write. Okay, so at the time, okay, that people, the jobs requirement need us to read and write only. So that's why we go to school and learn how to write and how to read. Am I right? Correct. That's what I went to school for. When it comes to Education 3.0, computers has come in. My time, okay, computer just started, okay? But now in 4.0, the internet have changes the paradigms for the industry and the students still being taught according to 2.0. Very sad, isn't it? So why are we, okay, using internet, or the virtual educations to what? To ask the students to read and write. Something wrong? Okay, correct. So the Industry 4.0, so the Education 4.0, by using the online learning, is to get the students, okay, to explore themselves, to learn the knowledge themselves, and come into the virtual classroom for discussions. That is about virtual education. That is about Education 4.0 we are talking. We are making use of the internet to connect everyone. We can get the best teachers, okay, from anywhere in the world. That's what Khan Academy is doing. So I always tell people, okay, make use of all this platform to learn whatever things you want. Understand? Okay, and not the traditional way that we have gone through. Sorry, parents, that we went to school to read and write, and my teachers, sorry to say that, I'm not sure my teachers around. I go to the classroom, the teachers will say, okay, CK, please go to page number one, and read the page for the class. Huh? Okay. If my teachers come and teach in 4.0, I don't know how the kids is going to learn in that environment. So teachers, okay, and students, okay, we are in Education 4.0, and the Education 4.0 is called virtual education. That is virtual educations in Education 4.0 now. Okay, so with that, I would like to end this excellent slide that I found on the internet as well. It's not done by me. is called My Higher Education 4.0. It's virtual learning. So the learners as a connector in center and creator and constructive. So you can see that My Higher Education 4.0, which is all the university and colleges, what are they doing? What are they supposed to do? Okay, first, let's look into on top the access to the expert. Okay, you can find the best teachers around the world. You can learn from him whenever you want. Okay, as a learners, you're supposed to connect a lot of things. There are open access informations that whatever you want, just ask Mr. Google. Mr. Google will tell you. That's what I say. Okay, and the educator is and resources as a guide, as a motivator. As I mentioned just now, the learners actually as teachers as well, because the learners, the students actually are playing more important role in these virtual educations now. They are supposed to speak out. They are supposed to come forward and do a lot of discussions among the classmates or even the teachers. So the teachers are supposed to be there to play a resource guide, okay, to ensure that whatever that they learn is what the according to whatever information is accurate. So that is the role. And the diversity of the networking, okay, we can connect everyone together. Like for example, how and all of that actually, we know that actually all these kind of things can be go online, can be going live, all these kind of things, okay, and then web, the curriculum, the learners, the content, all these kind of things that actually that come in together, okay, the learner as a content and producer and share. So the students who have learned something, the students who have acquired something, as I always encourage people to do so, that you can actually write it down. You can use YouTube to share something about what you have gone through. And these are the things that whereby is totally different from the olden day. So sometimes the parents out there don't understand why the kids want to be a YouTuber. It's not about being a YouTuber. The children nowadays, they just want to share about something they have gone through, and then hopefully this sharing that other people will learn. Okay, that for example, okay, I have seen quite a number of students that when they return home to Malaysia during this pandemic, they were being locked down. Okay, then they do some recording or they do some writing or some article. It's not that they want to write something about. The objective is very simple. They just want to share with the people, okay, to let the people know what is the process of gone through. So we must motivate them instead of saying, why you go and post the things out on the YouTube like that one? No, it's a learning. They just want the other friends to know that they have gone through this. Okay, so as a parent, as a teacher, we must encourage. Great job, daughter, son, Aloy, very good. All this kind of thing. That's our jobs to encourage them to learn. Okay, so I hope that my 25-minute sharing about all these virtual educations that to kick off to kickstart the day, okay, and then before all the speakers come in, and then hopefully you gain some information. Hopefully that through all these informations, why are we moving towards the online learning or virtual educations? We don't have a choice. Okay, students, parents, we don't have a choice. Okay, now whether you are prepared or not prepared, you just have to come into it. And even the pandemic is over, the MCO is over, I can tell you, okay, this is going to be a future of education, which a lot of people have been talking about all these things over the past 2 years, but because of this pandemic, they just actually push us to move faster. Okay, the speed is moving faster now because of this pandemic. So you don't have a choice, you just have to move on. So with that, okay, I finish off my sharing here. I just stop my sharing.